Okay, I guess this is as good a lighting as I'm gonna get. Um, Hello, it's been a while. Let's see, okay, there's the camera. Um, where do I start? I can't even remember where. I know the last video I did, I thought I had been diagnosed properly, and turns out, well, one of the diagnoses, if I did a video on that. I don't remember, and I didn't feel like watching the video. So forgive me if it's a repeat. The past month has been very trying. I started out thinking that my issues were chiropractic, and then muscular. And Marnie, you were right. Long story short, I thought I was getting better, and then took a turn. And finally I went to an urgent care, but then they said I'd be better off at the ER because it would take too long to get the blood results back. So we ended up in the emergency room. It was a Wednesday morning. It'll be 2 weeks this Wednesday I was in the emergency room. First time ever in an emergency room. And was there for several hours, probably about 4 hours or so. And they did blood work. They took blood and a urinalysis and my vitals, blah, blah, blah. And most of the blood work they could test in-house. But a couple of them they had to send out. And the two they sent out was Epstein-Barr and Lyme. The rest of the results came back while I was there, and everything was okay. The other two took a few days. They said Friday, possibly not till Monday, and that I had to call. Well, that wasn't true. They ended up calling me that Saturday. They did tell me that they would only call if there was an issue, and they did call on Saturday, and I tested positive for Lyme disease. That explains why I was so miserable. And they called in a prescription. I was in no condition to drive. I could barely walk at this point. I dreaded having to go to the bathroom because it was just, my whole body hurt. I couldn't sleep. It was just horrible. Every joint, every muscle hurt. No appetite. I mean, it was like flu on steroids, okay? So, and my husband was going to, but he had to go to work, but he was willing, he called up and said he might be late, but a friend of mine got a hold of her, and she was kind enough to go pick it up for me. So I got started on antibiotics a little over a week. It was a week ago this past Saturday. And in a couple days, I started noticing improvement by the body aches. The pain was going away, and I was starting to sleep at night. And now, every day is a little better. I'm on the antibiotics for 21 or 22 days. And I got an appointment with a doctor. I finally found a doctor that would take new patients and could fit me in reasonably soon. So next Tuesday I go in to see her. In the meantime, though, I had my very first, I've been going to a naturopath shortly after this started, and she did diagnose me with the tendon issue. And I do have that. I still have that, but that's secondary to all this. So when she saw that I was getting worse, she's like, something's going on, and you need to get blood work. She's the one that really pushed me to go get blood work before she proceeded. So I was glad that she did that, and that's why I ended up getting into the ER, because I couldn't get into a doctor to do it. So, anywho, this started, like a month ago, all this stuff. It's been a roller coaster. Anyways, I can move the two main things that I'm still having issues with is the fatigue and weakness. It's gotten better, but not, for instance, just taking the load of laundry from the washer and putting it in the dryer wears me out to the point I have to go lay down for at least a few minutes to regain strength and energy. I've had to use a chair in the shower because I can't stand for very long. But that's getting better. I have it still there, but I'm able to stand longer. Actually, this last time I took a shower, I didn't have to use it at all. Not saying that's going to be true every time, because every day is different. It was so warm out today, and just going to the mailbox and back, I was wiped out, and it took me like an hour of laying down to recuperate from that. The heat really, I had issues with heat prior to this. It's off the scales now. I have to keep cool, else I get nauseated like almost instantly. I tried picking blueberries this morning, and within minutes I had to go back in because I was getting nauseous. My husband finished picking them, and he's picked out of the garden for me a little bit. My garden's doing great, and my husband he's been weeding it. But my concern is, am I going to be well enough by the time I really have to pick, and things need canned and frozen or whatnot. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just have to leave that in the Lord's hands. I haven't been able to do hardly any cooking whatsoever. People have been bringing meals. My husband's been pretty much doing all the housework. I've done dishes, but I have to sit, which is kind of awkward, but it works. Today started out rough, but has gotten better, so I don't know. It's just you never know from moment to moment how I'm going to feel. I knew about Lyme disease, but not exactly how horrible it is. It is extremely debilitating. If you have it, my heart goes out to you, because I know what kind of nightmare it is. It messes with not only your body, but your mind. I still have trouble, like right now, putting things into words. I know what I want to say, but sometimes the words don't come. It's not as bad as it was like a week or so ago. I was really, really bad. My husband, he said he felt so alone because he couldn't have a conversation with me, because all I would do is lie there and just, people say I'm looking better. People that stop by to visit and drop off food or whatnot, they say, well, you're looking a lot better than the last time I saw you. My one friend that stopped by today said that, and she said, well, when we were here dropping off your medication, you were so white. I'm pale as it is, but she said you were so pale, and we couldn't hardly hear what you were saying because your voice wasn't very strong. And she's like, you've actually come a long way, even though you don't see it. So, I am making progress. It's slow. I just, my naturopath said I have to be patient and just stick to it. I'm on a boatload of, have a whole big thing here of supplements, plus some that are in the refrigerator. The two main things I need to be vigilant in is probiotics, and not just any probiotics. I really need the good stuff, the stuff that needs refrigerated. And I'm not talking yogurt. Yogurt's not going to cut it. It's a Garden of Life, and it's 85 billion whatever, and she wanted me to have up around there at least to get started, because of the antibiotics. Not only do they kill the bad stuff, they kill the good stuff. So I have to build up my gut with that, and I ordered some digestive enzymes. Those are the top two things that she insists I get if I am serious about regaining my health. She said I will have this the rest of my life, but if I follow through on the nutrition, the food I eat, supplements, therapy, and rest, that I can keep this from flaring. I could, go into what they would call, I guess, remission. So no sugar whatsoever. That's a big no-no. No gluten. I can have some fruit, but in small amounts, and ones that are more on the low glycemic index. Lots of vegetables, good fatty meats. So it's pretty much I was eating keto before this, so I'm actually ahead of the game, because I quit sugar quite a long time ago, and I haven't been eating the starches, the gluten or anything. So actually it's not going to be a huge change for me. Although the dairy, like cheeses, she said be careful with that, just see how I feel after I have cheese or something. So I'm keeping that to a minimum, and just keeping everything healthy, and doing the supplement thing. I just got, a friend of mine picked up my probiotics yesterday, because the ones that I ordered, it was the same kind, and they was pretty much the same price as what she got at Wegmans, but Amazon had it, and it wasn't supposed to come till Wednesday. I'm like, oh, I wish I could find it sooner. And then after I ordered it off of Amazon is when I discovered, I can't even remember how, that Wegmans had it. So she picked it up for me yesterday and dropped it off so I could get started with it. And then, lo and behold, what I ordered that wasn't supposed to come till Wednesday came today. So I have a 2-month supply, so I'm not complaining about that. And it did come. I was worried of how it would come, because it's supposed to be refrigerated. They shipped it in a very, very well insulated bag with an ice pack in it, which was still kind of cool. And it's like in the 80s and high humidity here right now. So I was pretty impressed. So I put that right in the refrigerator. Both of them are in the refrigerator. I'm still waiting on the digestive enzymes and a couple of other things. She wants me on large doses of vitamin C, krill oil, it's a fish oil for the omega-3s. I can't remember what else. Oh, MSM. And I'm on other stuff for my leg, which are also will be good, is not just good for my tendon problem, but also good for this, because they're anti-inflammatories. Because Lyme disease is an inflammatory thing. I mean, it goes right for your joints and causes an awful lot of pain. I couldn't even hardly move my neck. I mean, the neck pain was incredible, and just to turn my neck was excruciating. Sleeping was practically non-existent. It's just been a nightmare, and it's been a huge eye-opener, and I hope and pray that somehow the Lord will use this to help others. If I could, I'm praying that I have success in treating this, not just because I want to feel better, but also to help others that are searching for answers. So, because the medical community sometimes does not take this disease very seriously, especially if you live in a state that supposedly doesn't have Lyme disease. And I've joined a couple of groups on Facebook. I am on Facebook, but just for basically groups and people being able to get in touch with me through Messenger. Especially during this time, people were having a hard time getting a hold of me, like texting, because I don't have a very good cell signal here. And they would call, but sometimes you just want to send a quick message, question or whatever. So I use it just for groups. I've joined a couple of Lyme support groups, which has been amazing, very, very insightful, very helpful, encouraging. My naturopath has been very encouraging. I'm hoping the doctor that I see next week will be very encouraging. And I don't know if they'll do more blood tests to see how I am, if I'll be put on antibiotics longer, I don't know. But one day at a time. Just got, I tell you what, I wasn't expecting the hospital bill so quickly, but I just got at least one of the bills. I don't know if it's going to be the only bill. I don't know if it's like an all-inclusive bill of everything they did, or if I'm going to get other bills from everybody that did anything. But it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still expensive. And they want payment in full by next Tuesday. Yeah, that's going to happen. We have Christian Health Care. I'm going to get in contact with them because they'll pay some of it, I think. I've never had to put in a claim. But anyways, that's what's going on with me. That's why I haven't been around, because I've been pretty miserable. Today, feeling halfway decent. I just move very slowly, methodically. I lay down a lot. But if you know of somebody who says, that has Lyme disease and they're feeling miserable and stuff, take them seriously. It wreaks havoc on your body, and it can flare up. It's in you the rest of your life. And it can flare up and be so debilitating, it's not funny. So don't just slough them off that they're being, oh, you just need more rest, or you need to get more fresh air, or you need this, you need that, take more vitamins or whatever. No, that's not the issue. It's a disease, and it's a very serious disease. And it's been an eye-opener for me. I can identify with other people that have autoimmune diseases and how debilitating it can be. It changes your life. It really does. So anyways, I'm hanging in there. I have my good days and bad days. I've only been on the antibiotic for a little over a week, so I still have a ways to go, and I'm just now as of yesterday, getting started on the probiotic routine. So I got to build up my immunity. So I hope this hasn't been too depressing. But yeah, I look kind of tired. But this is the best lighting I could do with this phone. The camera's not the greatest or something. I don't know. But when I put it on when it's on picture mode, it's pretty, you know, it shows up nice and bright. When I switch over to video, it gets dimmer. I don't understand it. Silly thing. But anyhow, this is already 20 minutes long. I won't bore you anymore with it, but just wanted to pop on and tell you what's been going on with me. So hopefully my next video I'll be even better, and maybe even recovered. I don't know. It's going to take time, but hey, I'm getting there. So you guys all take care. Bye-bye.